Do we need another conspiracy theory involving the president-elect? Yes, especially if the theory is about connections between him and Nikola Tesla. This goes back to January 7, 1943, the day Tesla died in the Hotel New Yorker in New York City. 2 days later, the Federal Bureau of Investigation ordered the alien property custodian to seize Tesla's belongings, even though Tesla was an American citizen. Tesla's entire estate from the Hotel New Yorker and other New York City hotels was transported to the Manhattan Storage and Warehouse Company under the Office of Alien Property (OP) seal. John G. Trump, a professor at MIT and a well-known electrical engineer serving as a technical aide to the National Defense Research Committee, was called in to analyze the Tesla items in OP custody. That's from Wikipedia, not WikiLeaks. And John G. Trump is the late uncle of the current president-elect. Dr. Trump died in 1985, but he had a known influence in 2016 on what voters thought of his candidate nephew. My father's brother was a brilliant man. We have very good genetics. Donald Trump also revealed that his uncle would tell me many years ago about the power of weapons someday, that the destructive force of these weapons would be so massive, that it's going to be a scary world. Was the brilliant Dr. Trump telling his young nephew about what he saw in the things taken from Nikola Tesla's hotel room, the room whose contents the FBI took possession of in order to look for Tesla's alleged death ray? Tesla's thoughts and efforts during at least the past 15 years were primarily of a speculative, philosophical, and somewhat promotional character, often concerned with the production and wireless transmission of power, but did not include new, sound, workable principles or methods for realizing such results. So John G. Trump saw no value in the papers of Nikola Tesla, despite what others thought, and claimed a box containing part of the death ray only held a 45-year-old multi-decade resistance box. Dr. Trump also didn't seem to think there was anything wrong with how Tesla's belongings were confiscated, by an order of the Office of Alien Property, even though Tesla was not an alien, but an American citizen and a fellow New Yorker. Perhaps Uncle John had more influence on his nephew than just genetics. Then there's the FBI files on Tesla released in September of this year. One document says: The Soviet Union has allegedly had access to some of Tesla's papers, possibly in Belgrade and or elsewhere, which influenced their early research into directed energy weapons, and, name deleted, Phil's access to much of Tesla's papers on lightning, beam weapons and or death rays would give him more insight into the Soviet beam weapons program. The Soviet Union allegedly had access to papers on Tesla's death ray, the one that Dr. Trump called speculative. Could those papers now be in the possession of the leaders of Russia? Isn't that where a Tesla tower is located? So the country possessing Tesla's paper is the same country that seems to be popping up in the latest news stories about the president-elect, his connections to that country's leader, alleged election hacking, and a possible Secretary of State nominee with strong business relations going up to the very top. Shouldn't someone be looking at these connections between Donald Trump and Nikola Tesla a little more closely, especially with their connections to Russia?